All right, here we go. So we are starting today about learning about area. So there's our first vocabulary word. Area. Okay. Area is square units of space inside a shape. Okay. Or another way to think of it, area is the amount of space inside a shape. Okay. Now, another word I used in here is, let me get a different color, is that word square unit. Maybe you're thinking, what is a square unit? So that's our next vocabulary word. Okay, so a square unit is the area of a square with side lengths of 1 unit. Okay, so I'm going to put that here. Square units are the area of a square with side lengths of 1 unit. Okay. Nope, you guys aren't writing this. You're just listening. If you want to find somewhere to write it, you can, but there's not a specific space for this. Okay. So I'm going to draw you a quick little example. Okay. So for example, I'm going to do my best to make this even. Okay, good. You guys can see that. Okay. Oh, it's a little off. Okay. So for example, this right here, little shaded area, that little square is a square unit. Okay. So this particular shape, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 there, and 1, 2, 3, 3 here. Okay. We'll just say units. Now we're going to go into more with this, but I just want to show you. In order to find the area, you multiply length times width. Okay. Or you might see that as L times W. Make sure you know that's an L. That's an L. L times W. So for this one, it would be 5 times 3, and you'd get 15 units squared. Or 15 square units. That's another way you could write it. Okay. Oops. So the important parts of this, though, are these words here. Okay, area are the square units of space inside a shape, and square units are the area of a square with side lengths of 1 unit. And we're going to go into more detail about that. Okay, so those are the words you're looking for, though. Area, square units. That's what we're focused on today. Okay, back to the page you have. Remember, this is page 303. Now you guys are writing things down in your binder. Okay? So it says, how can you measure the area of a shape? There are different ways you can measure a rug in the shape of a rectangle. So here's our rectangular rug, right? So it says, draw a rectangular rug to the right and label its length and width. Okay, so here we go. If we were to draw our own, right? So we're going to draw a rectangle. Doing your best to make your line straight. Everyone draw a rectangle on your page, just like I did. And then this here, you're going to write width. And here you're going to write length. That's our first step. Okay, someone give me an idea. How could you measure that? What's a way we could measure? Who has an idea? How do you measure something? Trisha, what do you normally use to measure something?
A ruler.
Okay. So let's write that. Use a ruler. Sounds like a great idea. You could use a ruler. Okay, let's go to question 2. So like I told you guys, area is the amount of space a flat shape covers. The area of a rug is the amount of floor space it covers. How do you think you could measure the area of the rug to the right? Okay, now it's a little hard to see on my screen, but you guys have it in front of you on your page. If you look at this whole picture, so besides using a ruler, how do you think you could measure this rug? Sophia F., how do you think you could measure that rug?
Using square units?
Okay, and tell me a little more. What do you mean by that? Oh, did I let you, sorry, try again.
Because around the rug, it has like this table of squares and it's in the middle of it.
Perfect. You got it. Okay, so you could use the squares that it's covering, right? So let's write that. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see my writing. Okay, so you could count the squares the rug is covering. Once you have 2 answered, we're going to go ahead and turn to the next page. We're going to skip number 3. And turn the page. So I see some of you telling me you were counting the squares. We're going to talk about that on the next page. Once I see it looks like everyone's done writing, I'll move on. Remember, everybody should be writing these down. I see a couple more friends, pencil's still moving. See some friends showing me they're ready, good. Okay, I am gonna turn the page, so if you missed this, I can always come back when I meet with you in small groups. All right. Here we go, next page. It says you measure area in units that can cover a space called square units. Those are those units I was talking about before, okay? Which one of these do you think shows the correct way to use square units? You think it's 1 or 2? Which one? Which one's showing the right? Show me on your fingers. If you think it's 1, put up a 1. If you think it's 2, put a 2. Which one's showing the correct way to measure? I see some people telling me in the chat that works too. I want to see everyone make a guess. It's okay if it's a guess. It's okay if it's wrong. We're just learning. So I should see everybody. Or telling me in the chat, which I see some people doing. Okay. Okay, I am seeing mostly 1s, which is correct. Okay, circle this one. That is the correct way to measure area. So somebody who told me 1, tell me why. Why do you think this one measures area and this one doesn't? Ellie, what do you think?
Because it isn't overlapping.
Okay. There is no overlapping. What else? Who else has something besides the overlapping part? Sophia F., what do you think?
I think it's number 1 because number 1 has the square units lined up correctly, and the other one it has, yes, it also has them overlapped and they're not lined up correctly.
Okay. So I'll just say the squares are lined up, so they're not overlapping. The squares are lined up. Okay. And one more thing. The entire space is filled. That's also important.
Oh,
This is the next page. This is page 304.
there's one right.
Yes.
I also saw one more.
What else?
There's 6 in 1, but there's only 5 in 2.
Okay, yep. But we could have something that is 5 square units, but the big thing is it doesn't cover everything. But good notice of the difference. And then that's where you guys can also write an answer. How many squares are covering it? All right, we can count the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would be your answer.